Hey guys, so I am here to just talk about a little experiment that I've done over the last 48 hours. And look, let's be honest, I think we all know it's going to end up being a bit of a rant. But I'm going to try my best to educate you a little bit and just get you to understand. And what I'm going to do is just explain why I've done it. And hopefully, I really want this video for you to be, I'm going to spend 10 minutes watching Ian rant on here. And I really hope, if it's more than 10 minutes, just shut me off. I'm definitely on a rant at that stage. But basically, there's a reason I've done this, because we've trained thousands upon thousands of clients over the years, and it's just consistently an issue with the weighing scales. People honestly don't understand it. As much as you think, and you might hear all these things about why the weight fluctuates, etc., you might read a post on it. Look, you're still not getting it. So I need this video to be the one that you actually get it, because it's just going to melt your head for the rest of your life if you don't. So listen to me when I'm speaking. I understand a little bit about how the body works when it comes to nutrition, etc. And what's happening in the body is simple to explain, but you're not being told this when you go to weight loss clubs or when you step on the weighing scales. You don't really know what's actually happening. So the experiment was, basically I decided to see how much weight I can drop in 24 hours, and then I was going to see how much weight I can put back on in 24 hours. And the idea behind it is, I want to show you the volatility of the weighing scales, and we know what happened if you've been following. If you haven't, basically I woke up, I had my last meal on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. I had a toast sandwich. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. On Thursday I weighed 79.8 kg. I went to the bathroom, so I had a poo, and I weighed 78.5 kilos. That's down 1.3 kilos. Make of it what you want. But even that's an area to stop on straight away and understand that if you're constipated, then you're probably going to weigh a bit more. If you're going to the bathroom regularly, if you have a healthy digestive system, then your weight's going to move up and down as you go to the bathroom. So what I decided to do on that day was, I was going to eat as little as possible for as long as I can, and I was going to drink as little as possible. So what I done inside and work, I just had coffees. So I take my coffee Americanos, just black, no milk, no sugar. I was just sipping on coffee throughout the day. I had about 5 or 6 coffees, I think, during the day, probably 6 coffees. So I was a bit kind of shaky on that because I wasn't having any food. And I was just deliberately sipping on water. Now, this is not a strategy I recommend for weight loss. It's the first thing we need to speak about. This is an experiment I was doing. What was the, people do intermittent fasting and it works for them, and that's fantastic. If it works for you, long-term, happy days, you do you. Doing like a 24-hour fast, it's just not something that's for me. Again, if it works for somebody else, at least they know what they're doing. Hopefully they know what they're doing and they're going with that. But for me, it definitely wasn't something I wanted to do. I was definitely periods where I got really cranky. I suppose I have a diet mentality from bodybuilding before and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it was easy for me, but I was able to switch into that mentality just for this little experiment. And basically, I was sipping on Americanos, and I was really deliberately trying to just sip on water as well. And I normally drink 3 to 4 litres of water a day, so I found that probably the toughest part. So what I was doing was, anytime I got really, really hungry, that was time for the Americano. Kind of got me through that little hunger period. Not going to happen that half day when I normally have breakfast. Happened at 1 o'clock when I normally have my lunch. So that's your body kind of just like telling you it's time to eat. So the Americanos are not for me, and sipping on the water was definitely the hardest, but I was deliberately trying to partially dehydrate myself to try and drop some water. Again, not something I recommend doing. I didn't enjoy that period of time. I was really cranky, I was really tired. A couple of times I actually got quite dizzy. It's not the end of the world, but like for me, it just wasn't an enjoyable experience. It's not something I recommend somebody to do for a sustainable weight loss approach. But for a rapid weight loss thing, that's what I done. But please, I'm asking you, just don't try it, because you will understand by the end of this, you're messing with body water. That's the number one thing, okay? So water fluctuations is the main thing here. A friend asked me, are you going to lose a lot of muscle? No, I'm not. Are you going to lose a lot of fat? No, I'm not. All I'm doing is fluctuating body water, and mainly, okay? So that's what you need to understand with the fucking weighing scales. It's really annoying. So when you get to, I got to 9 o'clock that night without eating. I tried to keep myself distracted, and I really did. Just I done like 20,000 steps as well, because I was working ATP and actually went and played 9 holes of golf in the evening just to try and keep me occupied. And got back, it was about 22 hours since I last had a bit of food, and I had a chili mince, which was just mince and some sauces with some veg. So just mainly protein that we're looking at there. High salt meat as well, though. There's quite a bit of salt in the sauces, which can again lead to some water retention. So I might have dropped more weight if I didn't eat anything at all. And I went to bed early because I was cranky and I was tired and I was not nice to be around. So when I went to bed, I woke up the next morning and I was 76.9 kg. So I was down 2.9 kilos, or as most people understand it better, it's about 6.5 pounds, 6.4 pounds, okay? That's in 24 hours. So people here are fighting. I've seen it in the gym, fighting for a kilo. I want to lose this 1 kilo because that's what's going to matter. That's where I was before. I want to lose these 2 pounds. When I get to these 2 pounds, I'll be happy. You can do it by going to the bathroom. You can do it by, just not eating for a period of time. You can do it by having, a really sweaty session and losing some body water. What does that 1 kilo, that 1 pound mean? Because you were a certain weight before and you were happy at that weight, you felt great at that weight, how you feel when you're a certain weight isn't what you should be aiming for. How you feel is what you should be aiming for. Do you feel really good? Do you feel really strong? Do you have energy? Not when the weighing scale says that, I'll be there. So it's really understanding that, like, dropping a kilo is something that can be done in a few hours. It can be done in 6-12 hours. It can be done overnight. But that kilo doesn't mean anything. It's about like how you drop the kilo, if that's your goal. Yes, using the scales as an indicator can be beneficial, but it's time for people to realise it is one of the most volatile things as a measure of progress. We have so many other measures. So I dropped 6.5 pounds overnight, okay? What did I start doing then? So I didn't have this, what most people would have is a binge mentality. So I had a banana first thing in the morning because I was really hungry when I woke up. I had eggs and toast, which would be kind of my normal meal if I'm at home having breakfast. I started drinking plenty of water because I was really thirsty. And I went into work and I had chili mints with my rice. Then I went for another few holes of golf in the evening and I had a nice packet of twirls, mini twirls, 500 calories in those, which I normally wouldn't have, and so I did have those. And then I had my normal Friday night, which is like homemade pizza, a couple of glasses of wine. I said you're obviously espresso martinis, be a fan of those. So a couple of those, still drinking plenty of water. And then, so 48 hours later from the initial challenge, I woke up this morning and I was 78.9 kilos. So that's up 2 kg, which is again, it's 4.4 pounds. So the bones are 4.5 pounds. So 24 hours, lost 6.5 pounds, started eating normally-ish, with maybe a bit extra, and went up 4.5 pounds again. So like, that's insane. Like, think about that now. You're fighting for a pound. You're fighting for a pound, and you can, like, you're seeing these jumps, and there's so many reasons that it does jump. So listen to me when I'm saying this. The scales has got to be a measure that you understand if you're using it. So people who are going into weight loss clubs and queuing up to fucking jump on our scales week in, week out, when there's so many different variables will matter whether your weight is going to be up and down, yet you're leaving feeling like a failure. It's an absolute joke. So you need to be an adult and you need to understand this now. And I'm here and Cian's here for any questions you have about the weighing scales, because the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because I've seen people get genuinely really upset and down on themselves and not realising they just haven't gone to the bathroom in 3 days. Not realise this is week 4 of their menstrual cycle where they're going to retain the most amount of water. And you're comparing it to week 2 of your menstrual cycle when you're going to be your leanest. Not realising they might have trained differently, they might have ate differently, like they might have drank enough. There's so many factors that play a role. The time of your weigh-in. At the time of this recording here, it's 6 o'clock in the evening and I weigh 80 kilos now because I have food in my stomach. This is what you have to understand, is that you're getting upset because the weighing scales has been up here as this is what tells us we're successful or not for how many years. And the next time someone starts telling you this, you need to tell them to go affect themselves, because they're just trying to rope you into a plan that they want you on because they can see that you're not getting results. It is a measure, and I'm comfortable on the weighing scales. I hop it on it every single morning, but I also understand if it's up or it's down, why that's happening. If you don't understand the why behind these things, and you don't accept what's happening, that you overate, or you had a salty meal, or you had extra carbs, or you didn't go to the bathroom, or you're different time your menstrual cycle, or you didn't sleep well, or you're stressed. If you don't understand those and really understand those, stop going on the weighing scales. Stop letting it determine your mood for the day. Stop letting it determine whether you're a success or you're a failure, okay? The idea of the reason I done this experiment, I said it was not enjoyable, and you know, different things work for different people, and whatever works for you, well and good. But I would hope on seeing just how easy it is to drop weight, I wouldn't say easy, wrong word, how I can drop the weight by doing a certain thing, how that weight goes back on when I start eating again, is literally what happens when you go on your crash diets. You drop your weight because you've pulled your carbs out, you've dropped the weight because you're doing excessive exercise that you can't maintain. You've dropped all this weight, but it comes back on. It comes back on because what you're doing is excessive, extreme, not your normal. You go back to your normal, and this is where the weight creeps back up, and you see this rebound of failure, success, failure, success. What can you do about it? So what you can do about it is understand the body a little bit more. It's understand the weighing scales and know and create a better relationship with it. Either fuck it out of your house and don't use it at all, but which I'm not even an advocate for. I'm like, understand it and then know how it works and be comfortable on the weighing scales. When we take nutrition clients on, we have them step on the scales each day if they're comfortable to do so, to understand how it fluctuates. We get, like the first week of someone doing nutrition with me, they ask them to weigh in first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and they see a 4 or 5 pound difference, and straight away I'm able to educate them on that drop. Whereas if you're weighing in Wednesday up with Susan there in weight loss club, and following Wednesday then you're weighing in again, but you couldn't make the 7:30, so you're weighing a 9:30, you're down 3 pounds. Like, you know, it's madness, just absolutely madness. So it's time for you to wake up and to ask questions, but really just change your relationship with the weighing scales. And I really hope this experiment has helped. That's the main goal of it. There's no other reason. Obviously, I enjoy having a good rant, and this is definitely more than 10 minutes. But we're here for questions. Our 28 to Great is something that we really push on education, and you learn about these things as well. So feel free to ask about that. But we are here for any questions you have. I am off now to have a tasty dinner night out. Thank you, and any questions, please ask.